what's happening in South Africa at the moment. People livid in many instances about the presence of foreign nationals in South Africa, saying that this gives rise to crime in a lot of instances, feeling that foreign nationals are taking away their jobs. And I want to hear the EFF on this.
But why would you say, I don't support colonialism and support colonial borders? That is hypocrisy. If you don't support apartheid, you don't support colonialism, you cannot support the invasion of everything that came with these people. The borders were imposed on us. We never had borders. And even without borders, we never encroached in each other's territory. We always knew that here is this kingdom, here is that kingdom. So it's unscientific to say when you do away with the borders, there's going to be an influx of foreigners in South Africa.
So post-elections, is there any party that the EFF is not willing to work with?
They must pay attention to 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars. If we agree on that, we're fine. We can work with anyone, including Freedom Front. If Freedom Front says expropriate land without compensation, that's the language we want to hear. 30 years into democracy, we have not made inroads in redistributing the land into the hands of our people. Those are the issues we should be concentrating on. And understandably so, the DA and them are saying we're not part of that because they are funders and they are founders. Because the DA is a measure of a Democratic Party and the National Party, which was forced on them by the Oppenheimers. So they're saying you cannot allow that. You talk land in South Africa. You talk ownership of the economy in South Africa. You are touching the nerve of the Oppenheimers because they are the founders of this economy. They are the founders of this political system that we're having today. That's why they don't want to lose control.
So let's talk about migration and what's happening in South Africa at the moment, and people livid in many instances about the presence of foreign nationals in South Africa, saying that this gives rise to crime in a lot of instances, feeling that foreign nationals are taking away their jobs. And I want to hear the EFF on this and your response to South Africans for whom this might be a lived reality.
I want to know which foreigner took a job from who, because you are here, you are the anchor of the SABC. There is no foreigner who can come here and just take your job and say, from today I'm sitting here. The bosses would have allowed that. So the bosses are white monopoly capital which owns the South African economy. It's the one that brings foreigners into the country, give them jobs because they're going to pay them lower wages. And then from there come to South Africans and say, these people are taking your jobs, and then they make us fight. But Sakina, since when have other Africans never worked in South Africa? Because this Johannesburg was founded by a Southern Africa, not South Africa. That's why the language Faka Law exists. Because these people came from everywhere to come and mine this diamond that we're enjoying and gold we're enjoying today in Gauteng. So they met from Mozambique, they met from Malawi, they met from Zambia, Zimbabwe. They came together, they couldn't hear one another. They even developed a language called Faka Law. EFF was not there when that was formed. So it's not true that this is something that is happening for the first time. It has always been. But why would you say, I don't support colonialism and support colonial borders? That is hypocrisy. If you don't support apartheid, you don't support colonialism, you cannot support the invasion of everything that came with these people. The borders were imposed on us. We never had borders. And even without borders, we never encroached in each other's territory. We always knew that here is this kingdom, here is that kingdom. So it's unscientific to say when you do away with the borders, there's going to be an influx of foreigners in South Africa. Let's take Limpopo and Gauteng, for instance. Limpopo is much more poor than Gauteng, but the people have never left Limpopo to come to Gauteng. I come from Limpopo, and every time I get an opportunity, I go home. I've got no intention, none whatsoever, to relocate my home into Gauteng. So it's unscientific to say, because people are poorer and we are in a much better, relatively stable situation, they are going to come here and destabilize us. No one wants to come here. We want you, people of Africa, if you want to go and trade in DRC, wake up this morning and just go to DRC and do whatever you want to do and come back without hassle. There must be free movement of people. There must be free movement of goods, and Africans must trade amongst themselves, because only through the unity of Africa will we earn our seat on the international table where real issues are being discussed. What will Swaziland go and tell China and say, no, Swaziland and China are equal? Equal on what? But once we bring the unity of Africa, both in terms of size of the population and the mineral resources combined, the world will listen to us.
Okay.
We command more than 85% of the world platinum, ourselves and Zimbabwe combined.
So we're running out of time very fast, but I quickly want to touch on the Gaza question and what's happening in Palestine, the EFF's view on this, and of course also South Africa's stance on the matter. Tell us in a minute or less, Mr. Malema.
Well, South Africa is pretentious, the ANC is pretentious. We went to Israeli embassy and said we're going to close this embassy. We went to Parliament, put a motion immediately, and Parliament passed that motion. If the ANC is serious about intervening in Gaza and making sure there is ceasefire in Gaza, why is the ANC not implementing the Parliament resolution that said the Israeli embassy must leave because we cannot share the same territory with murderers? So anyone who supports Palestine and still vote for DA and the ANC must know that they are voting for the genocide in Palestine.
30 seconds. Why should people vote for the EFF?
The EFF is the most honest, hardworking organization that will combat corruption in South Africa, that will jail the corrupt individuals irrespective of who they are, give us free education that is decolonized and make Africans to love themselves. The land is coming, the jobs are coming. It is only the EFF that can stop load shedding in South Africa, and no one else has got capacity. The DA's government in Western Cape, they still load shedding. The ANC's government everywhere, there's load shedding because they've got no capacity to stop the load shedding.
Mr. Julius Malema, thanks so much for stopping by.
There you have it, guys. Julius Malema is usually full of these revolutionary speeches. Sometimes you wonder where he gets them from. But whatever the case is, we really hope that his wisdom transcends, and really contributes to the development of Africa and in helping solving Africa's really myriad of challenges. But what do you guys think about his speech? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like and subscribe, because that's the way you support Kwazemi as a channel, an Afrocentric channel, where we try to understand deeper issues in African history and hopefully develop a collective intelligence on how we wish to build the Africa we want to see as people of Africa. See you in the next one.